Everybody knows about the most popular combination blow Liar's Handshake 1-2 punch Hunter build. With the release of Prismatic, however, we can improve this build to make it even better. Now, this is not my build, and I'm not going to claim that it is. This build was brought to my attention by my buddy Jay, and it was actually Mactic's build, so I'm going to leave a link to his video down in the description below where he talks about this build, and we are going to be trying it out. With this, he claims that it's going to be providing better ad clear, you can add more weapons to the arsenal, and you can do a lot more in general, especially because of the addition to Prismatic. So originally, you used to be able to use a 1-2 punch shotgun with Liar's Handshake, you would use your Gambler's Dodge, and you would also have your melee in order to get that combination blow. With all that being said, we're going to go into the rundown for how this build works, and what we're going to be using. So to start off, you're going to be on your Prismatic Hunter. With your Prismatic Hunter, you're going to be using the Silence and Squall Super. This is going to be because you're going to get the new Frost Armor ability, which is essentially increasing your damage resistance for a duration while you have your Frost Armor. For Hunters, this can stack up to ×5. For your abilities, you're obviously going to be using your Gambler's Dodge to refresh your melee whenever you're dodging near enemies. Next, you're going to be using the Arc Combination Blow Melee, because defeating targets with this ability is going to refill your class ability fully, allowing you to dodge again to refill your melee charge. That's how you're going to build up your ×3 stacks of Combination Blow. Next, we're going to be using the Duskfield Grenade, a grenade that shatters on impact, leaving behind a field that slows targets and freezes those who do not leave the volume. Following that, we're going to be using Aspect's Winter Shroud. Dodging slows nearby enemies, slowing targets briefly increases your class ability regeneration, and if you dodge twice, it'll actually freeze targets, which is what is super great for ad clear whenever you have a lot of ads in close proximity. Following that, we're going to be using Stylus Executioner. Defeating targets affected by elemental debuff grant invisibility and true sight. After performing a Stylus Execution, your next melee attack, while invisible, weakens targets. Following the aspects, we're going to move on to the Fragments, where you're going to be using Facet of Protection. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, while Transcendent, the effect is increased. Facet of Ruin increases the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target, and increases the AoE of solar ignitions. Facet of Courage, your Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with darkness debuffs. Facet of Dawn, powerful melee hits against targets make you radiant, powerful melee final blows make you and nearby allies radiant. And finally, Facet of Purpose, picking up an orb of power grants either Amplified, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. That's going to come into play because we're using Silence and Squall Super. So that's going to give us that Frost Armor I was talking about before. And with Frost Armor, you are fortified by layers of durable stasis matter. Reducing incoming damage, Frost Armor damage resistance grows stronger as you gain additional stacks. And like I said, for Hunters, we can only go up to ×5. Now with that, I like to still pair this with a 1-2 punch shotgun. I've also been using the Lost Signal, the new legendary grenade launcher that has the AoE area denial frame, which burst fire grenade launcher. Each projectile creates a lingering pool on impact, which deals damage over time. It's essentially the legendary version of Witherhoard. Also paired with that, I like to use the Waking Vigil. I have an Envious Assassin with Volt Shot, which is very handy. And then I've been using the Microcosm because I feel it's a great pair to this as well, but you can kind of mix around the loadout and weapons as you see fit, and you can change it up for increased damage as well. The reason why I like to use Microcosm is because final blows with the weapon grant super energy, and the weapon deals bonus damage once my super expires. Of course, obviously, we're going to be using the exotic gauntlets Liar's Handshake. We're going to move to the mods as well. For the helmet, we have on Hands On, which gain bonus super energy on melee kills. For the gauntlets, we have 2x stacked heavy-handed. If you have the slots for it, put on 3. For the chest piece, I've got concussive dampener and melee damage resistance, because you're going to be up in close proximity, so you're going to want to have the damage at point-blank range to resist being meleeed. On the boots, we've got Absolution and Innervation. And finally, on the cloak, we have Powerful Attraction, Reaper, and Bomber. And that's going to be all the mods. Like I said, you can kind of mix and match the weapons how you feel fit. I do suggest trying the microcosm out because that's going to help increase your super regen pretty quickly. And having a nice arc weapon of choice, mine being the Waking Vigil with Volt Shot, makes things a lot easier as well. And I feel is just an overall great addition to the arsenal. With that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Apologies for the delay on making any content lately. I've been taking some personal time for personal matters. None bad. It's all been great times. But I wanted to leave this for the end of the video so I didn't take up too much of your time in the beginning. You guys are free to leave the video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let me know down below if you guys have any prismatic builds you guys want to see me try out in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.